I didn't really work very closely with Michael at the beginning. I just was offered his novel and as it was, and Michael Waring, who was the head of series at the BBC at the time, said to me, it's got a great plot, but it needs tweaking. And I did, in fact, change quite a lot of things, particularly the relationship between Matty, the journalist, and Urquhart, which I turned into a sexual relationship. And Michael Dobbs, at the time, he didn't mind that I was treating it rather roughly. But then later on, when it came on to the second and third series, we had our ups and downs, but basically we did need to collaborate. It came partly from a hint that was given me by Michael Waring, who was head of drama at BBC, and he said, you're going to have to tweak this novel a bit, do something original. My idea is think Jacobean, and I thought about what he'd said and what Jacobean drama was like. The villain often talks to the audience about the bad things that he's going to do and involving the audience in it. And I thought, let's have Urquhart making the audience his co-conspirators. I think if it's well done, it can be absolutely riveting. And I partly took the inspiration from Olivier's film of Richard III, which was one of the first times I think that it had been used, a very intimate way of doing a soliloquy by almost whispering to the audience. So there's a terrific feeling of complicity. I was involved in the production and the casting. The producer, Ken Riddington, was a great believer in involving the writer. I was a little bit surprised when Ian Richardson got the part, because I'd always imagined him as being a great big guy. I don't quite know why, but that was in my head. But as soon as Ian started doing it, I just thought, yeah, he's brilliant. This is the way to do it. And I forgot about all my original ideas. Loved the American House of Cards. I just hoovered up both series very quickly, binge watching them 3 or 4 at a time. I just loved seeing what they'd taken from our series and the changes that they'd made and the differences in the characters and so on. Fascinating. Yeah, I would think now that the real politicians aren't perhaps big enough characters. They don't quite compare with people like Francis Urquhart. Perhaps that's just as well. But in fact, the American House of Cards has shown us that contemporary politics can be done very well.